Yes, shalom everyone. This is Amir Tsarfati, and these are breaking news. If you've been following me on Telegram, you know exactly what's going on. But for those of you who do not follow me on Telegram, you may want to find out that about a couple hours ago, a heavy rocket of Hezbollah just landed in a soccer field of the Druze community of Majd al-Shams in northern Israel, right below Mount Hermon in the Golan Heights, and instantly killed 10 children, all of them from the age of 10 to, I guess, 18, and injured 20. Again, folks, the largest civilian casualties incident since October 7th took place a couple hours ago when a Hezbollah heavy rocket, Falak 1, it's an Iranian-made, Hezbollah-owned heavy rocket, fell in the heart of a Druze town called Majd al-Shams, right below Mount Hermon, on the southern slopes of Mount Hermon, and killed instantly 10 children and injured 20. Again, this is not an attack against IDF and not an attack against Jewish town. They miscalculated, and Druze children were killed. Hezbollah realized the big mistake, immediately issued a statement that says that they didn't do it because they're super afraid that Druze in Lebanon and Syria are going to avenge the death of these 10 children. And you have to understand, this is a massacre. Like, you know, again, a rocket, heavy rocket, hundreds of pounds of explosive, landed out of the blue in the heart of a Druze village in a soccer field where dozens of children were playing in a broad daylight, killing instantly 10. Look on my Telegram channel, I posted very disturbing footage of children without limbs, without head. It's horrific. And what happened is that Hezbollah understands they did, that was maybe the game-changing, that was the move they were hoping to avoid. Somehow they did it because they were in such a, I don't know, a campaign of shooting rockets all throughout the day, and that may be following Israeli assassination of 4 of their special forces, Radwan forces, in southern Lebanon. So they were so angry that they decided to shoot rockets everywhere. One of them landed in the heart of a civilian town populated by Druze. The Druze is a small minority in Israel of 100,000 people. Most of them are pro-Israel, and many of them serve in this IDF. Some of them are in high-ranking positions, generals, brigadier generals. The community in the Golan is a community of Druze that used to be part of Syria until 1967, and they were so afraid that in a future agreement with Syria, they will be returned back to Syria. So they always kept this neutral position of not supporting Israel because they were afraid they'll pay for it later. But nevertheless, they are friendly citizens of Israel that Jewish people were always driving through their town on their way up to Mount Hermon. Again, folks, a Hezbollah heavy rocket 2 hours ago fell in the heart of a Druze town right below Mount Hermon in northern Israel and killed instantly 10 children, injured 20. The largest civilian casualties event since October 7th. Prime Minister Netanyahu, which is now in the US, and it's the Sabbath right now. It's already over here, but you know, in America it's still Sabbath. And normally prime ministers try to stay until the end of the Sabbath to start their journey. He already said, I'm going home. They are now making the final preparations. In the meantime, the Prime Minister is convening with all the heads of the security establishment in Israel. There's no doubt a heavy response must follow this event. The question is, are we going to go to an all-out war with Hezbollah, or are we going to be able to escalate our response and yet still avoid an all-out war? Because, let me just make it clear. An all-out war against Hezbollah is an all-out war where all of Israel is within missile range, and no doubt will start also a missile barrage of missiles from Syria and Iraq as well. And so when we decide to go to an all-out war, we need two things. We need the surprise element to make sure that we take from them the ability to shoot the rockets and to destroy rockets on the ground before. And I don't think we have the surprise element. They are ready right now. And the second thing is we need to make sure that we, on our side, in the home front, which is Tel Aviv, Haifa, and everywhere in Israel, we are ready also. So everybody is getting ready for a few days of major war, and where we might not have electricity or water or something like that, because Hezbollah will surely attack Israeli infrastructures as well. Also, knowing that Hezbollah is not Lebanon, unlike Gaza and the Palestinians, that they are Hezbollah, they are Hamas, Gaza is Hamas, Hamas is Hezbollah. That's not the case in Lebanon. Most of the Lebanese don't like Hezbollah, and to destroy their country because of Hezbollah, it's almost buying ourselves new enemies that right now are not our enemies. We have to be very careful in the timing, in the manner of the way we respond. So the Prime Minister is right now on the phone with the Chief of Staff and the Minister of Defense, and he needs to approve a whole package of IDF strikes, some might be in Beirut, in order to send a message that we cannot allow such a thing to happen, but at the same time keep the initiative on our side to when we want to start the war at our terms, and the right timing that we find. So again, delicate situation. In these type of times, we cannot think from the stomach, but from the brain. And everyone wants right now to destroy everything that Hezbollah is, and we don't mind wiping out Beirut and all of that. But at the same time, again, it's much bigger than that. And so please pray. The response will likely begin tonight. Right now it's a bit after 9 p.m. here in Israel. I'll be up throughout the night to report on Telegram. Again, Telegram is the only way you can find out what's going on. I have all the footage of what happened, the actual explosion, and unfortunately footage from what happened to the children over there that I wish I didn't have to show you, but it's there. So if you are not following me on Telegram, do that right now. Amir Tsarfati on Telegram. I have over 540,000 subscribers, and the reason I'm telling you that is do not follow fake channels with my name. The only Amir Tsarfati channel that you need to follow if you want to follow me is the one that has over 540,000 subscribers. Telegram is the only and the best and the safest way for me to communicate to you, sensitive information that social media will not allow me to. Again, the largest civilian casualties event since October 7 took place 2 hours ago when 10 Israeli children, Druze children, I'll tell you more about the Druze later. It's a small minority. They are not Muslims, though they are speaking Arabic and they have the Arab mentality culturally, food and language and many things, but at the same time they hold their own religion. They are not seeking their own country. They are not fighting to get territory and independence. There are Druze in Lebanon, in Syria, and in northern Israel. In northern Israel, they are on Mount Carmel, Lower Galilee, Upper Galilee, in the Golan, and wonderful people, very loyal civilians that many of them serves in the IDF. I have a lot of friends that are Druze. Part of them were in my military unit as well. So again, very, very, very bad evening. And for us, we are preparing for a very harsh response in the next few hours. Stay tuned. I'm especially staying awake on Telegram. I will report. And Prime Minister Netanyahu is making his arrival to Israel earlier. He will fly throughout the Shabbat instead of after the Shabbat is over. And he can, thankfully, because now he's having his own Air Force One, it's called the Zion's Wing. And thankfully, he can conduct all the situation from the plane because we have all the systems there that are required. So again, follow me on Telegram. War in northern Israel that might escalate to an all-out war against Lebanon. 10 Israeli Druze children were massacred. 20 more are injured. They're hospitalized. On some of them, they're fighting for their lives right now. All the details, all the footage, all videos and pictures and information is on my Telegram channel. Please, please, please. And please spread all eyes on Majd al-Shams. That's where the massacre happens. And this is all civilians. It's not Hamas that is hiding behind civilians. All right. God bless you. Please share this to as many as you can. Share